Map score, then head-to-head score. Yeah, so map difference is so wins versus losses difference. So right now, Jumy's -1 and Zaun is -1, which means that if Jumy lost, he would always be less than -1. And then it's head-to-head. We don't do like map wins because that's just kind of choosing to me that's just, we've already done map difference. Choosing just map wins is kind of arbitrary. It's saying like it basically just ignores the fact that you've had more losses potentially anyways if your map score is the same or your map difference is the same, because if you've won more you've also lost more if your map difference is the same, right? So I don't really personally like that one that much. So yeah, it's just map difference and then head-to-head. As we get into game 1 of this best of 3. Well, the Simulator's coming up, Gateway coming about. I'm just going to be seeing the racks and the gas continuing through on the side of ByuN. As we get set up here between Jumy and ByuN and get this underway. I'd like to see what will happen. Probe gets down to the bottom, reactor coming about, the orbital command coming through. I'm just going to be seeing our cyber core coming in, add a gateway onto that as well. And that probe just patrolling along that bottom side for the moment. Yeah, cyber core finishing, just going to get the Stargate started as well. It's going to bring that straight up. Probe gets away from that bottom side. Again, a couple of depths coming through. The Reaper's coming up. So we get that underway immediately. Probe escapes up that right side. Again, the Stargate and the Adepts coming through. The Warp Gate building. And, yeah, with this little proxy play, looking to get in early. You know, this is going to be very powerful. An Oracle against someone that's going to build a couple of Hellions, 4 Reapers. There's not going to be a lot of anti-air here in these early stages, especially because ByuN does like to go kind of heavy on the harassing units. I think the important thing for Jumy is that he's going to have to make sure he can defend well too. But, I mean, he's got 2 gates because this is 1 base right now. So he's got 2 gates. He's going to have a bunch of Adepts. So defensively, he's actually going to be set up very well. The build is kind of spot on to just make ByuN's life very difficult. Because like I say, usually you kind of need the Oracle to defend, or Reapers and 2 Hellions, but in this case you just really don't, because he's going to have so many Adepts. Now obviously again, he's going for a much later command center, so that is a factor. It needs to make sure he does this Oracle correctly, moves it in the right way, make sure you get as many SCVs as you can here. We are going to start running out of energy on that Oracle pretty quickly. Again, 3 Adepts are going to catch 1 Reaper. The Shade should be able to catch a second, but he doesn't Shade. He'd rather pull away. He doesn't want to get himself stuck chasing. As the Oracle turns back around to the upper right. Cyclone Marines continue to build up on the side of ByuN. Couple of SCVs going down on the other side as the Oracle is here once more. This is Oracle 2, no? Yeah, this is Oracle number 2. I believe Oracle number 1 is actually recalled back home. So Oracle number 1 recalls home. I'd love to see an energy overcharge on it, actually. Give this Oracle some energy to work with. So far, we've killed, what, like 6 workers, a Reaper and 2 Marines. It's not bad. But of course, you were later on the Nexus for this. Your 9 workers ahead as your Nexus finishes soon, so maybe this ain't all so bad in general. Must be seeing our Reapers, Hellions moving up around that right-hand side. Again, charge coming up. We had a couple of probes on in there. Gonna be seeing the Reapers and the Hellions coming around that right side. The Oracle gonna float right across to the far right as well. Just gonna be seeing the Stalkers. A couple of those Hellions begin to go down. Reapers as well. one Hellion, one Reaper to get into the base. It's a reasonable defense as we're going to get a probe. That should be it, though. We get rid of the Hellion first as well, so no splash. Yeah, a bit of a chase down from Jumy, but this attack Reaper units gets cleaned up early. I like the bunker a lot from ByuN. Very safe, and in a game where I think safety is paramount, especially with the way that Jumy is setting up to play. He's going straight into charge. Jumy actually has a lot of stalkers, but he's building charge. Now, if he doesn't start warping in Zealots right now, I'm pretty sure this is then a mistake. Because it doesn't feel like he wants charge with what he's building, but he might have just been, okay, he's starting to warp in Zealots. He might have just been building those stalkers because he felt like he needed them, you know, as a defensive unit with range initially. And now obviously going to start getting the Zealots warped into play charge from him. He goes armor as well, so it does look like he's going to play very Zealot heavy, so it looks as though that is a decision and the correct one from him. It's just obviously wondering, you know, charge is about to finish. There was 0 Zealots on the map at that point. It was definitely a question mark. The Zealots charge through, the SCV goes down. Just going to see another Zealot gets warped in. The Oracle's pulled back a little bit as well. Another tank will siege. Just going to see our factory going to move up to the top. It's going to drop down onto the reactor. +1, Stim. Continues through for us at the moment. Just going to be seeing a couple of missile turrets coming about as well here from ByuN. Got a couple of gateways being brought up as well. Continue to bring that into play. Again, blink coming up. We get ourselves the +1 armor on the way about. Solid Stalker's going to come over and just going to chase this medevac. That's kind of a big deal because that's got 2 Cyclones inside. Of course, there's no blink, right? So you can't chase this down as easily. Those are 2 Zealots, not Stalkers showing up. Oracle's over here. Yep, there's no anti-air, unfortunately. We can track the medevac, but don't think we're going to catch it. Maybe these Stalkers got a shot off? Yes, it does, and we actually do get rid of 1 Cyclone. However, oh no, he shoots his own Oracle as well. Yeah, that 1 Cyclone got out, and the Cyclone got out, targeted an Oracle. I think it was going to die anyways, but then obviously shooting it doesn't exactly help, as ByuN's doing a great job of making Jumy run around, and this is the advantage you have as ByuN, because Jumy chose to play without blink, right? He chose to play basically without the mobility of it all so far. As Zealots and Stalkers continue through the center. Stasis is what's still setting up. Blink and +2 armor coming in. We get a prism going. Additional Zealots are on the way out. All of that being brought through here currently. It's a big stasis actually. That caught a group of units over here heading towards that pylon. Slows ByuN's clearance of the map up as Jumy's starting to warp in High Templar. Just for Archons right now, there's no Storm available. Medevac might have just been glimpsed by the probe. I think so. We're going to get some warp-ins. These Zealots just to try and get on top of the units as they begin to unload. But it's a slow warp-in on that final Zealot. It wasn't attached to a Nexus or Gateway. Getting all the way into the back of the Natural in the end, and that's where ByuN decides to unload to try and deal some damage as Jumy wants to pull the workers to deal with this. The feedback goes down like that. Get rid of any healing of potential. Link is now available, but again, we're getting caught up on the mineral patches, on the mineral lines. It's been a big game of kind of getting caught on things, it feels like, for Jumy. There's been a lot of moments where he just gets a little bit kind of tripped up by the map or his own setup. TC. Just gonna move on over to the sides. Probes going down. As you have the army of Jumy still signed up in the center, still looking to potentially think about what sort of aggression you might be able to bring. Good revelation. These all 4 of those Widow Mines, so you now know that those are clumped up. Interesting position because the tanks on the high ground provide a good defensive setup as well. Good stasis catches a few units. Do you want to engage into the tank fight? It looks as though Jumy says yes. I actually don't like the fact that he runs into the Widow Mines more than anything else. He knew those were there and they were always going to be an issue. He does get a new round of Zealots up though. That Archon, the Immortal, putting some work in. He's going to get in range of the siege tanks too. Another Widow Mine on the high ground is very effective as the Zealots still try to get to the front. Jumy continues to rally Zealots over. Catches those units out of the stasis. Third base completely displaced. 20 workers down. Jumy's attempt at a gold is going to be under fire from the drop. Single drops are doing a lot right now. That's absolutely certain here. That's the one thing ByuN's been able to do very well at. As the rest of this army's pulling back, we want to catch this medevac. We dropped the Revelation. The blink's too late. This medevac was already far enough away to escape that one. It's gathering, and a couple of Vikings on the way. 2-2 upgrades coming about. Gonna get our rocks picked away at. So the units gathering up. So the rocks go down. 2-2 upgrade. Ship weapons all coming about as well. Gathers up, then the thermal lance going through, the medevac trying to find a way in. Jumy getting a little bit better at the defense there. Force moves about, the medevac's gathering up. Still got the 2-2 upgrades coming in from ByuN, a couple of Marauders added onto that as well. What I do like that Jumy's doing is he's taking control of the map and he's taking bases, right? I feel like that is a big step in the right kind of direction. He goes down. One Marine just going to get caught in the front there already. Oh, he splits. I mean, just all these Zealots in that bottom right side just waiting. And that's seen by that Marine. The rest of this army skirts all the way around the Sense Tower. I think actually the Colossus just walked into it though, so maybe a bit of a giveaway. And what we're going to try and essentially set up a surround, but there's a wall on this left side that you would have to go through initially. The Zealots are going to charge in at the same time. Widow Mines are going to catch those initially. So much damage from Jumy is just going not onto kind of units, as we are going to turn onto the Vikings though. We get rid of some of those, they try and chase the Colossus. It was a cool idea from Jumy, but the setup from ByuN was very good. The fact he was building the fourth base where he was actually extremely helpful. Stopped the army getting jumped on straight away. Get rid of this medevac. He is going to warp in a Zealot to help deal with the Marauders, and the drop on the other side is handled pretty well, so Jumy does not let that go too far. Then knocks down the panel on the bottom side. The Bio still coming across, add a couple ghosts in. Thanks so much, Rack, for the 1-year resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. We actually have a fight here, though. As well, it looked as though he did. Jumy looked as though he wanted to kind of make something happen. Loses an Oracle, going to lose a Colossus to the Vikings. He's just pathing badly. A lot of his army's pathed up the top side of this cavern, well, the chasm, whatever you want to call it, the cliff. And the rest has gone around the bottom. We lose a bunch of Colossus here, so that's going to hurt. That's going to really suck, and that's going to make life a whole lot more difficult. From here on out, as a couple more Zealots go down as well. ByuN stepping up to try and deny this gold base. One of the things we loved from Jumy was that he'd been able to get these bases up during the last few minutes. And now he's struggling to get Stalkers in reach. I mean, the Stalkers now can surely shoot the Vikings, and surely that should be a priority. He just commits to this fight. Disruptors are going to have to do some hard carrying. Another Viking showing up. ByuN gets pushed away. Jumy defends the gold on low HP. It stays alive. Bio Vikings gather up. Just going to see the +2 attack. The Disruptor continues to come about as well. Army steps up. Just going to get the Stalkers, and the Colossus is going to get that. Marine goes down. Disruptor shots coming through. A couple storms going to get placed. We are going to see one Colossus falling there as well. Another Disruptor shot is going to land. Good chunk of Marine Marauder going down right there too. Intense game. Obviously a lot on the line for Jumy. If he wins this, you're in the playoffs. Obviously the series, not just this one game. And to see the size of Sandworm for sure as well. Definitely a map that's going to invite a lot of macro potential as try and utilize these disruptors and trying to use those to keep the Terran army at bay. Changes into a different game when it's Zealot Stalker Disruptor instead of those Colossus in the back lines, but we are rebuilding the Colossus and I think that's the right call. I think it's way too soon to start scrapping with Zealot Stalker Disruptor for the rest of the game. I think rebuilding those Colossus is a big factor. I think that's a very important thing to move on. So it just gets picked off, another EMP goes down. The shot fires through. Bio loads up, just going to move in toward the main base. It's going to drop straight in here. Gate's going to be taking some damage. The Colossus firing up a little bit as well. The Zealot's going to try and move forward. Gateway's going to come under fire as well. Colossus will get back into the fight here. Stalkers blink up. Medevac going to go down. Full Medevac goes down. So Jumy picks off there. And he's already got units in position to deal with this as well. Storm's going to come down. Storms are really good because they're getting rid of the Medevac health as well, which is important for the future. However, this army's kind of getting caught here. Disruptors having to be used to clear the way. The rest of the reinforcements are coming back from the main base, but very slowly because it's quite the distance to move to get to this 12 o'clock location. Obviously, the Colossus showed up quickly. We have a blink available already for the Medevac. So we do. We're going to get a Medevac with units inside as well. Good target fire from Jumy. Good choice of what to hit there, as ByuN's supply is not good. He lost a lot in this fight. Jumy actually preserved a lot of his units, and coming across the map now, may have an opportunity to knock down a base of ByuN. ByuN's only on 4 bases. He cannot really give up a location. And I love that Jumy goes to the right side. It's not a planetary here, so it makes this a lot easier. Preemptive blink to get rid of some of the Vikings. 2 Vikings down before they even hit a Colossus. Base in trouble. Disruptor zone in Jumy. Gonna keep forcing ByuN back a little bit. The Colossus step away again. The orbital command is gonna go down. Nothing else. Jumy's already done significant damage here. Does he just want to back away from this now? He's going to lose a lot of units getting chased is the problem by choosing to just back off. And then turn with the Stalkers now as they should have a blink. Colossus are still just about surviving. The Disruptor shot didn't fire far enough. ByuN shoving across with the army supply that's evened out a little bit. Jumy replacing a couple of Disruptors. Obviously, this base has to be relocated from the main now, so... The thing is, over time, is that Jumy is just still manning so much more. And so, as long as that's the case, ByuN is going to remain in trouble. And look at these units, they're such low HP. If Colossus can actually just shoot on this bio for a little bit of time, they're going to be able to do a lot. A Storm as well would be huge onto the bio. I'm surprised we don't have more High Templar available. That Storm felt a little preemptive as well. More Zealots joining up. The +3 attack upgrade finishing on the Forge. Up a couple of Zealots in on that right-hand side, and again, Marine. Well, Marauder Medevac actually in production, and another Ghost from ByuN. Like I say, this is just one less orbital he has to work with, so less scans, less mules. We are still stuck on 4 bases, which is a long-term problem. And this base is still very much so the engageable base. But Jumy, if he can hit that again, it's still just an orbital. He doesn't want to hit here because of the planetary. Maybe if he could just get rid of the sensor tower, and then attacks up here would be more of a surprise. The problem is right now, attacks up here are kind of known about from ByuN ahead of time. It's exactly what he does, gets rid of that sensor tower, because he just wants to deny ByuN from being able to see what's going on. When the EMPs go down, Disruptor's going to take some shots. Going to see the Colossus taking some hits. We are going to be seeing the Stalkers underneath. Disruptor still landing. More Disruptors going through to those Marauders. Oh my goodness, how are they not larger shots? may not matter because the Marauder heavy army will struggle against Zealots here. The Zealots actually pulling back though. Disruptor's being denied. More Zealots needed from Jumy. He's just lost the army, hasn't he? He's going to lose. Jumy just didn't fight this properly. His Disruptor's kind of whiffed. ByuN did a great job getting rid of some of them. Jumy may not lose right here. I guess that's an overextension of what I'm saying because he can pull back and buy time. It's going to take a lot of time for ByuN to get rid of all the bases he needs to. And Jumy killed 16 SCVs, so ByuN's economy really is in tatters. Jumy just doesn't want to go right now. 3 more Disruptors building. A High Templar walked in. We just need to wait and buy a bit of time. Do we have an energy overcharge? It's on cooldown. Would love to just get a couple of Stormers available. It would be huge right now against a very beaten up Bio army that doesn't have Medivac energy to really heal it up at all. Storms would be massive at this point in time. ByuN gets rid of 2 bases. Jumy has set up the bottom right as well. It's very drawn away from everything else though, so that's going to be an issue. This map's not really designed for the top right player to take the bottom right base. I mean, this base is also far away, I guess, eventually too, but you would naturally kind of go from here to here. It's a bit closer. Disruptor shot's actually going to land as ByuN. Not watching too much. The Disruptor actually hit a few Zealots as well, though, so some friendly fire. Jumy's supply bouncing right back up, which is expected because, of course, he has that larger economy. Still 55 to 28 workers. And it's not like ByuN has tons of orbitals to support a 26 SCV economy. ByuN has got himself 2 orbitals in this game. We lost one of them. There's a storm coming down. Every storm right now is massive because it gives you the potential of just chipping damage onto an army that, like I say, is not healthy and not in a great place. I love that we're building Immortals again. There was an Immortal before I thought was going to do huge things, but then, like I say, over here, Jumy kind of backed away from the fight while also sort of taking it with some units. I feel like he had a little bit of indecision as to what to do in that moment in the game, and that might have been a little bit costly for him in the end. Bottom right base is... It's important because ByuN is forced to kind of fight down into here, but if we lose this base, then Jumy is going to really start struggling a lot more with the economy. Disruptor actually connecting from the sides. Bio actually going to jump on those Disruptors, however. Not even sure where that Bio came from. That kind of seems as a surprise to me as well. A Ghost going down. There's only 2 Ghosts left. But out of Storms, the Archon would be huge. Some splash damage mixed into this would be massive. A couple of shots from the Archon. Will it live to fire at all? It will not. Extra Zealots are going to charge in from the top side, though, and so Jumy is going to be able to keep on chasing. And this is an issue. I think the Zealots are going to be a problem now. With only Marauders left, the damage just is not there. We're building Marines. We are building a Widowmine or so. Can we split this one Zealot away? Yes, we can. Good job, Jumy. That was necessary. You don't want to take extra damage on these units, and we are going to see GG called by ByuN as Jumy is going to take the first game of this best of 3. All right, well, he's got a couple of shots at this. As in the top left-hand side, the red Terran player is going to be ByuN. You just got to take a deep breath, calm down, and just play your game. Can't let the situation get to you, right? Jumy in the bottom right then. Let's see if he can make it happen. A win here puts him in the playoffs. Let's see what we get. In game 2 as we get underway. So next drops down, orbital coming up. Maybe getting ourselves into the first few moments here, see what the plan is from Jumy. Actually played a cool kind of style in that last game with the Zealots initially, and so as well is definitely interesting. gonna see our go up right there. I'm just gonna be seeing the Reaper coming in, trying to get a little bit done. As we settle down, just gonna be seeing our Adept, Warp Gate, Stargate, all coming through, the Starport coming up as well, so we get that underway. Excuse me for the moment. Open the hell in, we'll try and poke on through. Adept's gonna chase about, Reaper and the Hellion gonna get pushed away. Cyclone and Marines coming about, RCC building up. Gonna be seeing the units of ByuN falling back for a few moments. Medevac coming up. Again, Cyclone Marines gathering. We'll see the units just joined up in the main base. And Marines and the Cyclone just coming about. The Robo facility, probes, the Phoenix, all getting produced. Again, Jumy. A map ahead in this series. ByuN has a Cyclone coming up, a couple Marines, another barracks on the way as well. Going to chrono boost the Immortal already as the Phoenix continue out towards the bottom side. Actually going to be able to lift up the Reaper, should be able to get rid of the Hellions, so a couple of free pickings as ByuN is just setting up to push. Now, obviously the Immortal is very important here. That's your real firepower to help against pushes of ByuN if he does Marine tank push. He's got a Medevac, Cyclones, and Marines. Like, Cyclone Marine is already dangerous, so we'll see what the plan kind of is. The Cyclone locks onto a Phoenix, just going to turn that away. And again, Robo Bay is about halfway through. So Phoenix moving about, Robo Bay coming up, and Gateway coming in, Immortal, Stalker, Phoenix continuing about. Drop the racks onto the tech lab. Jumy with the Colossus and a Phoenix continue to come up. Stimpack +1 continue to come up. Let's move through and obviously looking for that chance to get involved, but the Cyclone locks on. I think this is fine. Jumy just says, cool, if you're sitting back, I get time to build into my composition, which I'm aiming for, and that just is okay with me. As long as you are at your side of the map, I think Jumy's genuinely just going to be okay with this. Triple Orbital is available from ByuN. He will want to move to that third base soon. Jumy begins to set up the forward gateway. He likes to do this in a lot of his games, get that gateway set up early to try and warp in from. Medevac's popping out, the Marauders coming through. We're just going to see the Phoenix diving in. Marines and the Cyclone just going to be there, push the Phoenix back out again. 1-1 upgrade, Stimpack, and Combat Shield all still building. Now we do have the Gateway on that left side coming up. The third is finished for Jumy. And third will move out from ByuN as well. I love this. Just Phoenix going to get rid of some Marines, trying to remove that scout information. Is he going to see the Marine on the right side as well? Oh, yes, no. Oh, he just got out of reach. He had the right idea. He was like, I feel like you should be sending a Marine that way as well. So he tried to catch it, but he was just out of vision at every point there, unfortunately. Cyclone gets a single shot off, nothing too major. Phoenix takes a single hit. I mean, Jumy is set up to push on in, but I'm a little afraid. I mean, this is obviously not kind of like what Zan was doing earlier against ByuN. This is obviously going to be, a few more workers available from Jumy. There is no upgrades. If you're going to go, you've got to lift up those siege tanks ASAP. The problem is the Marines are ready to target fire down those Phoenix. However, two of the tanks stay in the sky for quite a long time. The Colossus of Jumy doing pretty well. The Immortals in the front, I think, are doing a lot as well here. The Phoenix, I think, are mostly going to go down. We're going to have to back away. There's no way we can stick around. Surely with those tanks still around, but we actually got another lift-off. There's actually going to, I think at this point the Phoenix should back away. There's a missile turret shooting them down. I think he's just kind of given up on the Phoenix at this stage. Do we have enough to kind of go in again? Obviously, there's no Twilight Council here. 11 SCVs die. I mean, Jumy does... It's an interesting trade. Two Immortals, I think all the Phoenix going down is the big issue. It's so expensive to replace Phoenix. You don't really want to replace Phoenix, but without the Phoenix, you're missing a lot of what makes this army kind of decent. He's going to go for a different angle now. Two Phoenix remain. Obviously, the Warbin is only available off of the gateway as well. There's no Prism here. Let's try and push up. The missile turret will take some shots from afar. Marauder's going to try and jump on the Colossus. Got to be more aggressive at pulling those back. Adamant and Marauders is always going to do pretty okay. Going to try and just lead in with some Zealots. Let's see what we can do. A few Zealots on the other side as well. Wouldn't mind is going to start jumping on those. We do get one of the tanks lifted into the sky. But yeah, Jumy just does not have enough. This is going to go down. I actually felt there was potential with this. Just the way that the engagement went down, I think he needed to approach it a bit differently. Those missile turrets were huge because they eventually got rid of all the Phoenix as well. I think there's a moment where he could have actually saved like 3 or 4 Phoenix and he just left them there, kind of still idling over the tanks. If he just disengaged and maybe went again with another full force attack and you've got 4 Phoenix, then I think he's going to be in a very okay spot. It's just those tanks were so costly, basically. It's difficult because like you don't really have a good way to get on top of the tanks outside of just removing them from the fight. And you could see he was very scared about committing the Phoenix on top of the tanks in the first place. He knew ByuN was likely to just target fire them down, but he got the lifts that he needed, to be fair. Level 4 still going down. We are going to see the few Zealots still stepping up. The Disruptor Shock going to get rid of... Oh, doesn't have to kill a tank. I thought that was a guaranteed 1-tank death at the very least. So you've seen a couple of Immortals still standing here. The couple of Marauders going down. Jumy says GG, well played, and we will go to a game 3. Bottom left-hand side, our red Protoss player is Jumy. I was gonna say, big match for Jumy. Making playoffs would be a huge step for him in terms of tournament performances. And again, it's guaranteed if he wins this map. Would be deserved as well. Beat Zan, beat ByuN. Like I say, you just gotta try and keep you cool. Moves across again. Nexus Sabacore coming in. We got settled down. See what the plan is gonna be. C gets dropped into position and get that underway. Let's see how Probe is scouting. Jumy may even get a little bit of a proxy going on. Obviously opened game 1 with the proxy Stargate. Down CC coming up and the factory. Nylon is down. The Twilight Council's already building at home. I wonder if this is a Dark Shrine play. Jumy's not afraid to mix in those DTs, not afraid to try and get those operational. It's just so risky to play DTs in PvT though, because you're obviously going to be heading in towards a Raven a lot of the time as the Terran, and then if the Raven's just out, the DTs don't do as much. ByuN is attempting a scout as well. Does he go right to the corner? No, he does not. Okay, so Jumy's going to get away with the Dark Shrine in the gateway. Now he just needs to make this look like the Twilight Council is just for Blink at home, if the Twilight Council is seen. He's got a lot of adepts, which is obviously because he's very gas-intensive, Twilight and Dark Shrine, and wants to be able to afford DTs. As the Hellion going to take a couple of shots on the way in. The adepts will shade after it. You need to start something on that Twilight. The Twilight Council not upgrading is a massive giveaway. Like, we started building charge now, but when the Hellion first went in, that Twilight Council was not upgrading. Instantly, Tech Lab over to the Starport. Raven's going to be on the way. So we're going to have very limited time to do work with these DTs. Yeah, just you had to start charge ASAP, basically, when the when that Hellion gets in. Because at least then it looks, and maybe at least you don't get the read off the Twilight Council. Obviously, you could still maybe say, well, Adept? Twilight? That's still suspicious, you know? Whereas right now, I feel like we know exactly what's up. And I think Jumy knows that ByuN knows as well. He cancels the DT Shrine, and he actually goes into the Temple Archives. I love it. I think it's a perfect call for the situation, which is that he's realized that ByuN's figured it out, and because of that, he's like, okay, scrap that. Let's cut my losses while they're ahead, save some gas, get the Temple Archives down, and just go into maybe, I don't think Storm, I think just a couple of Archons initially, maybe. He could go super fast Storm. It would be a bit crazy, but this is obviously not a normal game already. So yeah, gonna get into Storm, a couple of Stalkers, doing a good job zoning out this Medivac, so that will keep that away from the main base. Jumy needs to minimize potential damage taken right now. Of course, ByuN's gonna hang back a little bit, because if you're expecting the DTs, he doesn't want to just move out and then suddenly DTs are striking. By moving out on the map with a ground army, you would obviously expose another part of your army at the same time as well. Woodermine does get in. Just make sure those probes don't take too much damage. The Stalker absorbs the Woodermine shot in the end. Feedback gets rid of the Medivac, so this will be dealt with. We just have to get through these few Marines, which we will do. Tree work is going down. I'd say it could be worse, but honestly it was kind of worse because we lost multiple probes to this harassment before anyway. We lost 2 more before. The Hellion got 2 as well. Now the Raven knows it's free to come across as well, so it's going to show up here. Did not scout the gateway, by the way, so that at least has gotten something that Jumy gets away with. Would love to hit the feedback on this Raven. He's going to get it now. Okay, nice. That's good. It just stops more auto turrets and more problems, so at least we're going to minimize the harassment damage that ByuN can find here. ByuN's army supply is huge, but that's kind of meant to be the case. When you're playing into this Storm quickly, and obviously he did this off the back of a Dark Shrine, which got cancelled, you're always going to have a little bit of a lacking army supply. It's not like the other stars where you have a lot of gateway units at first. The problem with that is it's a very flimsy style. Now, this Adept, I believe, just saw these Medivacs moving out, so we get a little bit of a heads up about this movement down to the bottom side, and if Jumy can be in position straight away, that does a lot for you. He did see it, right? He's pulling his units away a little bit. He's here. He's in position. Shouldn't be able to do much at all. You drop a warning storm. Marine goes down. Done the correct call just to get the heck away from that one. +1 combat shield's about to finish up. We will be seeing this Marine coming over. We'll spot that gateway. I think that was inevitability. At some point this will likely get cleaned up, I'm imagining. Mortar turret goes down. Archon just wandering over on the wrong pathing. Can we save it in the prism? Yes, he saves it. Okay. you take little moments like that. Oh, split the zealots. Jim's too busy worrying about this drop. The drop play was definitely one of his weaknesses on the first map as well. The Sunworm, no, the zealots open, they run past the units, now they're dropping the natural. This is ByuN's kind of bread and butter as well, dropping around the map and just causing chaos. The style that Jumy played in this third game is obviously not really one that's good against drops as well, because he was obviously going for something different and he changed his mind about, he obviously, went for a different approach eventually. But that's just going to make it even more difficult here, as he's basically chasing around drops non-stop, and he's having a real tough time just getting any amount of units in position. The Zealot run by does turn into some SCV kills on the other side eventually, so that is some good news. Some positivity there as we'll drop down a couple High Templars, we'll feed back a medevac. The Jumy supply is just a little too far away. Everyone comes back in, more probes going down. Jumy equal work account to ByuN is never a good sign. Oh, okay. I was going to say, at least only one Widowmine can connect onto the prison there. No blink, though. We lose multiple Stalkers now. More probes going down. The drop in the main base comes back through. We're going to have to warp in Zealots, plus an Archon. There is a High Templar. Storm kills a Marauder and a probe. Like I say, it's this continuation of drops. We saw it be an issue in the first game. I think ByuN's very correct to kind of go super drop heavy when he gets the chance to. Like I say, the first game was the thing that kind of had Jumy running around a bit silly. So that's Archon's moving over. So many probes lost at this point that Jumy probably just has to commit to a fight, but he's not really in a great position to commit to a fight. That's going to be his issue as well. He doesn't have a lot of stuff. The Widowmines are going to go off. There's EMPs available, and unfortunately Jumy's TLMC journey is coming to a rapid end on Killer's Mile as High Templars trying to drop whatever storms they can. And they do okay for themselves, but that was the last storm, and 3 Archons and 2 Immortals are not going to be good enough. ByuN is going to get the victory. I think Jumy's best chance wasn't that second game, actually. I think that attack really had ByuN in trouble.